Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see the title of this video, today this video will bring to you a very important topic, and I have prepared a number of videos for you to present to you something that this is all what this fight is about. This is truly good versus evil, light against darkness, God against evil. This is what we are dealing with. This is all about the future of humanity. And let me start with the clip that I came across, I think this morning, that kind of led me on this direction for this video today. And I have very good interview that I want to present to you that I came across yesterday that I think everyone should watch. One of the best interviews I came across in a long time. Very important, very informative. So stay all the way to the end. I will present to you that interview that focuses on few very important things, including Russia and Putin as well. So let's start with this first clip that I have for you.
The Russian president says Americans are literally eating each other. Watch
So
this.
President Putin has said a few things that's got me a little rattled, and I think it'll have you rattled as well.
This is insane.
Give me a second, let me explain. President Putin of Russia came out on the world stage and he gave a speech. In that speech, he said, I have proof, and this is all alleged.
Alleged.
He said, I have proof that the American people are eating each other unbeknownst to them.
Some of us already know
That
this.
we are being fed each other.
Stay weird.
And we have a clue about it.
The Russian president said
I'm sure many of you know about this. Look, McDonald's, for example. But I wanted to find the very video which that person has mentioned in that clip. I couldn't find the video, but I found two things that will connect the dots right here. A while back, that was about 2 years ago, guys, I have recorded a video. This was when actually there was a presidential election in Russia. So I think it was 2 years ago. Time flies, it really does. Well, time does not exist, they say. Anyway, I recorded this video, and this was the time when there was a presidential election in Russia. And I titled this video, Putin says, in one of the interviews that he has given, the West must understand that the vampire ball is ending. And when I came across that interview, I was very interested what he had to say about it, because clearly you cannot be confused what he's saying. Vampire ball is ending. And as always, I have attached down below the link to a video that I wanted to show you, right, with the interview. And that video, surprise, surprise, right here, is no longer available. But what I've done, I actually found that interview, the transcript of it. So let me read you what was said in that interview. This is from, let me show you. This is from Embassy of the Russian Federation of the Republic of Malta. From all the places, the Knights of Malta, that's another story. So let's read this, okay? This is from 2024, from 18th of March. So not 2 years ago, but a year ago. Let's read this, that statement from Putin now, I'm quoting him. Many people in the world are looking at us, at what is happening in our country and in our struggle for our interests. They associate our struggle for our independence and true sovereignty with their aspirations for their own sovereignty and independent development. Now, this is the quote, very important. This is aggravated by the fact, I think I pronounced correctly, aggravated by the fact that there is a very strong desire in the Western elites to freeze the current unjust state of affairs in international affairs. Keep in mind what he's saying here. This is not just political, this is human trafficking too. One more time. There is a very strong desire in the Western elites to freeze the current unjust state of affairs in international affairs. They have spent centuries filling their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money. but they must realize that that vampire ball is ending. So here is Putin literally just saying this straight, what's going on. And what he's mentioning here, that those Western elites want to freeze the current unjust state of affairs in international affairs. This is not just about sending weapons, creating another war. This is about human trafficking and all those things that I'm going to present to you today. So let's go to the video that I came again across yesterday, connecting the dots, everyone. From a regular American citizen.
What is it going to take? What is it going to take for us to listen? I'm like sick to my stomach, okay? I've heard the rumors and I'm guilty of it, taking my kids to go eat at McDonald's, but today took my girls to go get their normal Happy Meals and got a 10-piece for my 6-year-old, and she bit down one of her chicken nuggets and she says that, she hurt her teeth. And so I'm looking at it and I pull this out. She pulls this out. She hands it to me, okay? And I'm freaking out. Baby, where's your tooth? What happened? How'd you lose a tooth? How did you lose a tooth in your chicken nuggets? It's not her tooth, y'all. This is not my baby's tooth. But this is a baby's tooth. This was someone's baby's tooth. This is disgusting, and this is what we're eating. This is what we're feeding our kids. This is a human tooth. This is a baby tooth, and I say baby no more than 6 years old. This is a tooth. Y'all, this is a baby tooth, and we're eating this shit. And you motherfuckers are still gonna go continue to eat from there. Look at this. What is it gonna take?
It's not easy to watch. I watched this few times because in stages, because now I can actually present the video for you. Otherwise, I will not be able energetically. I had to balance my energy. And I started to discover those things about 5 years ago. I'm sure many of you have known this for a very long time. So I am a newbie here, right, in this topic. And I really don't want to be an expert, but I guess God wants me to bring this to you. Now, let's go to Putin again. I hope you really appreciate this video today. And if you do, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It's not easy to talk about this stuff, but this is what the fight is about. This is why to close the border, it's important. I'm talking United States and other places, but in US, that's especially lately. Okay, let's go to Putin. Where is this? Let me find it, guys. Not long time ago, Vladimir Putin permanently outlaws satanic temple in Russia. Russia has officially deemed the satanic temple as undesirable in Russia, banning it in its entirety throughout the country. This status essentially prohibits such entities from operating in Russia. Their bank accounts are frozen and local branches are shut down. Those found in breach of the law could face fines or even prison sentences under certain circumstances. So this was, the source was RT, and it's from June 24th this year, all right? Let's give it a like, okay? So this is Putin, Russian Federation, not long time ago. Now, I want to take you to, let me just stop sharing. I want to take you to an interview that I came across yesterday. This is a very new interview with two women. I would like to ask you, after you finish watching my video, if you have time, or maybe later on today, or maybe tomorrow, to watch this entire video, because it's very, very important. This is not fake news. This is not some delusional BS conspiracy. This is real life. And this is what we are dealing with. This is the evil we are against. So let me play 2 parts of this interview. The first part will be about what's happening really, as far as those children go, missing ones. And the second part will be, how is it in Russia as far as human trafficking? Something that is a big interest of mine, because I really wanted to know more how Russia is dealing or has dealt with the human trafficking story. So let me take you to this video. The first part, I have the timestamp here, so just give me a moment, everyone. This is on Michael's Jaco channel, and you have 2 ladies here. Let me start with the first clip. Let's take a listen. Very important interview.
Now, Katherine Austin Fitz, she was in the Bush administration, and she's talking about a $21 trillion black budget that's used for these underground dumps. And she talked about everything you ladies are talking about, and maybe a little bit more, because they're actually breeding children under there on purpose for a lot of these programs. Did either one of you discover or encounter that?
Well, sort of to add on to what Lynn said, I was used often. The satanic rituals would involve me being completely paralyzed and aware of everything, but unable to fight, and then being raped while I had to watch other children being killed, and the other children would be cut apart, and of course, by that time, I was completely dissociated in another planet. So that I remember more about the dissociated adventure than being smeared, absolutely covered with the blood of these other children, which gave me so much guilt. And I was always wondering why I lived and they died. And I think Lynn just said it. I had a home to go to. My parents were making money off of me being used in this way, and the other children had no homes to go to. And there is a place in the archive that the CIA just released, where they write little notes to each other saying, we really can't keep using American citizens in this way, because those kids, some of them might grow up and they might sue us. And so their conclusion out of these cute little notes they wrote to each other was they would start bringing in foreign children. And this is the beginning of mass kidnapping and bringing kids across the southern border. Like and this was in the early 60s. So, wow. And we just saw an admitted 300,000 children brought across the southern border. And the thing is that they decided that, they brought children from all over the world, and you can bet that children that are coming across the border now are probably a high percentage from Ukraine. Anywhere there's war or conflict, they're probably Palestinians and Ukrainians. Anywhere where children are vulnerable, they're collecting children. But then they come across the border in the no home category. And there was a conscious decision that how to make the American public accept this. And they decided that it would be okay if they were all called Mexicans. And so it became like a psyop to condition the American mentality to accept that it was okay to sacrifice Mexicans. And we saw this when they came across the southern border, 300,000 children. They had to admit to it. A whistleblower produced the documents, produced the $47 million contract that was awarded to a van company in Virginia. And then they claim they don't know where the kids go. Right. Of course they know where they went. It's the same van company they were using back when I was involved in this. But then they're all listed as Mexicans. And so their attitude is, oh, no, it's all right. They're just Mexicans. So that's not all right. Nothing about that is all right.
So as you can see, guys, in the title of this interview, Michael Jaco titled it CIA Family Raised Dr. Juliet. So this is the lady who was just talking, Juliet Engel, for MK Ultra child trafficking. So she survived that abuse because her family, as she mentioned in this clip, was making money of her being used as such. Now, she also lived in Russia, and she is going to talk about how is human trafficking in Russia, how does it look like or looked like. And this is very interesting and very important, and I hope you have time to take a listen to what she had to say. Let me just move a little bit forward here, find the right spot, the right time. Okay, 1 second, everyone. So before I play it, let me mute myself and let's continue. This is Russia dealing with human trafficking.
So you went to Moscow, and
Yes.
you went there when it was still the Soviet Union.
Yes.
So do you think there is a difference between the Soviet Union and the child trafficking that you witnessed and tried to help overcome? That's a great story. I definitely want to read your book about that. That sounds fascinating. But also, now that it's Russia, had things changed at all, or is it still
Completely. It's completely different. In
Wow.
fact, we are more like the old Soviet Union than they are. And the
Right.
Russian Federation, it's called Russian Federation because it's made up of over 150 different ethnic groups, but they are united as the country Russia. And it became a deeply religious country. When I was first there, religion was outlawed, and the practices there, because religion was outlawed and there was a complete lack of any kind of church life in the communities, or any, no one was raised to be a moral person. So it was a wild mess of a country, and they knew that. And one of the things that Putin has done that has made him so popular is that he restored religion. So he's a Christian. He's the first Christian president. The rest have all been Ukrainian Jews. But he was the first actual Russian Slavic Christian president, and he brought back religion. He and not just Christianity, but all religion that existed at the time of the revolution, and when all religion was banished, could legally return. And he's built over 30,000 churches, mosques, synagogues. All religion that's real religion is respected. And interestingly, Russia just passed a law banning Satanism. So
Wow.
making any kind of satanic cults illegal in schools, and specifically addresses the fact that the United States has Satan clubs in schools, and they're looking at the satanic rituals, which are the pedophiles being able to do lewd dances and spread books in grammar schools. They specifically list that in their education, saying this will not be done in Russia. This is completely illegal. Huge support. The public supports the bill. Sort of the less religious and the more satanic and evil the West looks, the more they retreat to traditional religion. And it's completely different. It's an entirely different country. And when I first went there, Ukraine and Russia were pretty much indistinguishable. They were sort of all one thing. And as time progressed, Russia went towards family values and religion and restoring religion and being quite conservative. And Ukraine went the opposite direction. It went completely woke. It's still completely woke, and it's suffering terribly from that, from what I can see. So
So you heard from her. One sentence I just want to say what she said that I personally don't agree with. I'm not an expert as far as Russia goes, but I don't think this is accurate. She said that no person in the time of Soviet Union was raised to be a moral, that no one was raised to be a moral person. I completely disagree with that statement. Completely. Okay, let's just leave it there. But what she's talking about, it's very on point right here. And I always wondered how Russia is dealing with this situation. How Russia is dealing with this very, very difficult situation. And now this also presents you a little bit different side of this conflict in Ukraine. I'm not justifying killing people, but what I'm saying is what has been going on there, right? The tunnels, the smuggling, the border, etc. Just think about it. Now, I have 2 more clips to play for you. The first one is from Jim Caviezel, who was in that movie Sound of Freedom, that is talking about human trafficking. So let me play what he had to say about children and what's going on. Again, many of you know this topic, some of you know. I invite you to do your own research, look deeper into it, and this will put everything in perspective, everything. All those connections Clintons have, Haiti, Epstein, all of this is connected, guys. So just ask yourself, who wants the border between US and Mexico to be open? Sorry, it wasn't this video, but there is one more as well I want to show you. So let me find this first. I have a lot of videos for you today, everyone. So let's see if I can find it. You know what? I'm going to play a different one for you. I'm going to play the one with Isaac Kappy first, and I will be looking for the other one while this one is presented to you. Let's.
That this comes out into the open, because we are going to change the way everything works. Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. Yep. See how easy that was, Corey? I didn't need $10 million. I just said it. I want to get into like the bigger picture, how this stuff is all connected. Because when you're talking about like really elite levels, the name of the game is blackmail. So they want something on you that they can hold over your head so they can basically own you and tell you what to do, and they film it and then they own you. So that's what runs the whole system. Basically, they want compromised people because they're easy to control. You know, a lot of people, they'll just go along with it and do whatever just for fame or money or accolades. Some people are just like really into the evil shit. Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new, because at the top levels of wealth, of power, the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look into the Rothschild family. Do some research. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. That's you know, the higher you go, the more sick it gets.
I think many of you remember Isaac Kappy, mysteriously killed, like someone put in the comments. I remember it was, I think, 2020 when, there were actually quite few good things about Shmovit, because in that time, a lot of stuff was coming out and people started to do a lot of research. We were almost bombarded with those things. I never thought that such a satanic, horrific reality existed. I know some of you who've been watching maybe David Icke or other people, you thought like he's crazy and, some other things. But now I think it's not going to take a long time, like this knowledge is going to become world known. Most people will know about it, especially in our lifetime, because this is what we are fighting with. Now, last clip, I found it with Jim Caviezel. Let's take a listen. I really appreciate his acting. He's such a great actor. And this was from Sound of Freedom. He was an actor in that movie. Let's take a listen what he had to say.
Actually, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline. It's the worst horror I've ever seen, is screaming alone, even if I never, ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them. Essentially, you have.
Before I close this video, I want to show you, I want to point at actually at what is shown here. Well, this is the graphic. This is Hillary Clinton. Of course, she's deeply involved in this with Huma Abedin, who, by the way, just married Alex Soros, and that is George Soros' son. It's all connected, everyone. I know you know this, but I'm just saying, those of you who don't, you can do your research. Here you see this in this square, you see Tom Hanks, and you see a ball, and you see a face, a red face that is actually made of blood. This is from the movie Cast Away. I remember that movie very well. He ended up on an island by himself, on an island. And here is, I think this ball was called Wilson. And you know what's interesting? Because his wife, Rita Wilson, is that's her last name. Anyway, here is Ellen DeGeneres, and I remember exactly when this was taking place in 2020. Guys, okay, before I tell you what I want to tell you, personal story. Here is the same kind of sign, the same mark on her blouse, on her hoodie, and behind her, I think there was like a ball or kind of like a ball that had a lot of keys in it. So that's like another symbol in that group. But now the true story, I'm going to close this now. Now the true story, so this is from Sacrificing Children. If you didn't connect the dots yet, I'm just telling you. I lived in Santa Barbara, many of you know. And there was a place, my favorite place, that I used to go and hike. I forgot the name of this place, but it was absolutely my favorite area, the most beautiful one. And Santa Barbara has mountains, hills, beautiful hills, and you also have the ocean. So perfect combination as far as nature goes. And in that time when everyone was like, lots of people were like stuck at home and they're afraid to leave, I was driving to that place and just taking very long hikes. I didn't know too much in that time, because if I knew then what I know now, I would be afraid to go by myself. And I went there, I would say, not exaggerating, hundreds of times throughout my stay in Santa Barbara, throughout the time I lived there. And in that time, it was 2020, I think it was April, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. On one of those hikes, as I was climbing up, I was walking up, on the way down was coming Ellen DeGeneres with a friend or whoever, some assistant, God knows, I don't know, family member. And I didn't know any of it, okay? And I said, hi. I was never like a crazy fan of her. I never really resonated with her show at all. But I said hi, and she responded hi. And then I remember, this is crazy how it works in life. About maybe 2 months after, 3 months after, or something like that, the same year I was coming across this information about her. What can I tell you? It's a small world, isn't it? We just have to keep our eyes open, use our intuition, and trust God and Archangel Michael and the divine for the protection and for the strength to keep on going. Those are not easy topics, but somehow I was able to pull this video together. If you appreciate the content, I very much appreciate you hitting thumbs up, leaving the comments down below, letting me know what you think. And also, if you choose to support my work, the best way is to become my Patreon, local supporter, or donate on PayPal as well. And I attach the links to not all the videos because on Instagram it's separate. I attach the links down below in the description box. And just do your own research. Many of you who are listening to me now know exactly what I am talking about. With this being said, everyone, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, guys.